then 3.
By the way, I know how to clap, so fuck off.
3, 2, 1, go.
Very good.
Dylan, well done.
Good.
Redemption.
I love it.
Stand by what I say. Fuck off.
The NAFTA podcast.
Sometimes may be good, sometimes may be shit.
NAFTA Podcast, episode 26. It is the 6th episode of the World Cup. Before we dive into the TikTok emergence of our TikTok page, France and Morocco, Argentina and Croatia, dark, messy. Guys, we did a social experiment over this week, and it had to do with uniforms, or kits, as they say across the pond, and more importantly, the classic baby blue and white, sky blue and white, Argentinian blue and white of the home jersey of Argentina. It turns out that the fair sex finds this jersey ugly as hell, and all of us dudes think it's a very dope jersey. And we have not figured out why that is.
I'm telling you, it's because I don't think it was even like horrible. I think it went from it's ugly to it's fine, nothing special.
Yeah.
And I think most of our love for that jersey is strictly like it's just an iconic jersey. Like you see that, and people, our dad knows that jersey.
Yeah.
And he doesn't give a shit about soccer. He doesn't care at all.
He still makes the soccer jokes all the time, you know.
Yeah.
Guys like kiss your sister type shit.
Yeah, it's strictly just like we know that jersey is fucking iconic.
I basically got back from my straw poll from the students is they don't like the black stripes on the shoulders that go in contrast to it, like the Adidas stripes across the top. And then there was complaints that basically they don't like stripes, and the white and the blue are too similar, and
No
it looks
contrast.
ridiculous. Yeah, it's not contrasting enough.
Nick, these are all great. Did you teach these kids about capitalism after this? Adidas stripes on the shoulders, like this is easy. We're
No, we
lesson plans.
well actually we did, but it was more about the foreign policy and impressment that Thomas Jefferson had to deal with pre-War of 1812.
Gotcha.
But
Okay,
you know,
perfect.
Yawn.
There is a question I did have though. Like, there's been iterations of the blue stripe. I think when they're in the what was it, not Copa America, their qualification down in South America, they did the blue stripes that were like camo. Actually, like, I actually don't like that as much. I like the traditional. I don't know.
It needs to be traditional.
Yeah.
I also realized what's like really stemmed this was the fact that Alex, like, we spent 15 minutes arguing about this jersey, and what I think is that apparently powder blue seems to be the problem because she doesn't like the Chargers jerseys either, which is also blasphemy in my opinion.
Yeah.
their best jersey.
Insanity.
Exactly. If you didn't have an LT powder blue jersey growing up, I don't want to know you. So
Neither of us had that.
I did. It was just a kid's jersey, so I grew out of it by the time I was like 12. But we don't. Whatever. It's okay. You didn't care about me growing up, so no big deal.
Too busy winning championships and shit.
In what?
Whatever. Move on.
Okay.
Classic.
But I came to a realization that I just sent a text out. We didn't ask the pod mom her thoughts, so I just asked mom. I just text her if she likes Argentina's jersey. So I think that needs to be our final ruling.
Yeah.
Also,
by the end of this pod, we'll get an answer and we'll be able to report back. Hopefully.
just the class. It's not even a classic thing. It's always like an iteration of like dark bluish, purple, black away or second kit is also always good as shit. Like,
I
it's
think
so nice.
The second jersey for them at this World Cup's great. Like I would,
Yeah,
when we were talking about if they win it, if we're all four going to get jerseys, I actually had to figure out which one I wanted.
You have to buy the one they wanted in.
That's true.
I don't think you have to, but
At this point,
In this case, I think it
would
fits.
get the iconic one just out of spite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People's
This
Well,
one
some of
is this 2014 one, second kit, like the changing blue,
that's
is so nice.
Yeah.
That's the one they lost the final in.
Yeah.
The,
So then my question then is then I'm thinking about now is we talk about all the differences in the width of the stripe, how many stripes, classic versus zigzag, whatever. If you look at Juve, like that, if you look at a black and white soccer jersey stripe like that, you think Juve. Like
I think Newcastle, but
I
I do.
well, that's fair.
Yeah.
No, that's fair. But like, I don't know, maybe I don't know. But like, doesn't it's the same? What is it? It's got to be. This is playing the Dylan's thing. It's got to be the color. I'll have to ask the kids. What do they think of the Juve jersey? And is it really stripes or is it the baby blue?
You can do
Mom
all.
likes the jersey.
Yeah. All right. That's all that matters. That's a clap.
For
Nick,
sure.
You would have to just stay in Italy. You could do Juve. You could do AC Milan. You could do Inter Milan. Is it just the white that's on there? Because those three teams.
Oh, why don't we throw something together? I'll make a Google form and I'll have the kids take a quick quiz before class. I'll give them all like
There
two
you
extra.
go.
I'll give them like 2 points on their next test or something like that for taking it.
Make sure you get the powerhouse Stoke City in there too, red and white.
Also,
Or I could quote Caroline. Just do. It looks like Brighton's jersey, but not as cool.
yeah. Well, and I know for sure because Morgan thinks that like 6 players on Newcastle are all hot, so she watches them. She hates the black striped Newcastle jerseys.
Huh.
So I think she's anti-stripe.
I'll say maybe it's the stripes. Aren't
Well,
stripes like a fashion, like a bad thing? Like people.
No,
hate
north-south stripes are thinning.
Yeah.
East-west stripes make you look. They're not good for your figure.
But are 3-inch north-south stripes thinning? I think it's a pinstripe.
Yeah, I said 2-inch ribbons. 2-inch.
The other thing I wanted to say too is like when you're talking about these teams' jerseys, obviously Argentina takes their jersey from the flag. Croatia also. This game had to have the 2 best versions of taking elements of the flag, putting it on the jersey, because those Croatia checkerboard ones every year are ones to look out for. They definitely have had some duds, but ones to look out for sure. I usually like Croatia's as well.
Makes you really think that, it's a shame Nike drops the ball if there wasn't another nation that has a pretty good flag that could be turned into a jersey.
And a cartoon and a Marvel character that basically could make it look even more badass on his existing uniform already.
Also, just to say, like, I think this round of semifinals, like the France jersey too, like pretty basic, but like little trims and stuff here of like the French flag.
The flag on the flag on the sleeve. Like
Yeah, and on the
cuff
shorts,
right there.
and on the shorts too. The seam of the shorts is super nice.
So
Where does this rank against Australia though?
Yeah, sure.
Where does it rank?
Jack.
Well, I mean, France is good, but Australia is basic. But they got a sweet ass crest.
No, I was just saying, like, in terms of like this semifinal,
Oh,
they all are pretty nice.
It was a good jersey matchup, is what.
Yeah.
Trying to say.
Yeah. Dylan, also, if you are struggling to get Nick a Christmas present, he has mentioned this crest 7 different times on pod.
I've got a plan. The future brother-in-law is going to Australia in like March, so I am putting out his radar to be like, you need to go. No, Nick, not for you. That's gonna be for me.
Dude, I'm getting shorts.
I'm in
Dude,
the family. You're technically like kind of in the family with him. Like you got to figure that one out at Christmas.
I'm gonna ask him, Aaron, can you buy me shorts? Done.
There you go.
I'll Venmo you $85 plus tax.
Argentina and Croatia, France and Morocco. Let's start with the team in the blue and white jerseys and the checkerboard. Argentina 3, Croatia 0. Lionel Messi with a pen in the 34th minute, and then Julian Alvarez follows it up with a double in the 39th and the 69th. Nice. 3-0 win for Argentina. First things first, before we do anything, guys, I don't want to give us like a premature pat on the back, but the fact that we all picked this team to win the final and they're in the final, Not bad.
Pretty good.
Actually, real good.
I'm gonna give all my credit to EA Sports running the FIFA simulation.
Damn,
Well, they
I
got
forgot about
half
that.
of it right.
I forgot about that. 3-0. I think that if there was one semifinal where you could say a team actually asserted themselves and their dominance and just looked kind of head, shoulders, knees, and toes better than a team, this was it. We'll get to the other semifinal in a minute, obviously. But we went into this game talking last pod about how Croatia is still sneaky cockroachy, and I think Argentina dashed those beliefs pretty early.
Yeah, they Croatia played terrible, first of all. And Argentina, like, it was just little moments from, Alvarez and Messi that just kind of took the game over. Again, another consistent theme, complaining about the refs. Again, they were terrible. They're terrible today too in the second game. Can we just across the board here, penalty, right? Like, for sure.
I think so.
Right? For Messi, like Alvarez, like the goalkeeper coming out, that's a pen, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I think so.
Okay, Modric said it wasn't a penalty, so I don't know how more clear cut you could have got. Like, he took him out.
That is called with lesser contact in the Premier League almost every
Yes, 100%. And then the solo Alvarez goal was a lot of luck, but I mean, still, like, one of my friends said in our group chat, to be able to, like, touch the ball so deftly to even set yourself up to be in those situations was crazy. And then the last goal, the Messi run and everything was just unfucking believable. Like,
That run reminded me of, I had flashbacks to Michael Jordan on John Starks back in '95 at the Garden. He just,
oh my god.
like, that's how, like, quick it was that when he did that little, like, he dipped his shoulder a little bit to the top of the box. Like, it's just, that's why he's who he is. He doesn't need to run around like crazy. He can do whatever he wants.
Yeah, he's nuts.
Do you realize
He's
that-
still faster than half the guys, which is still insane at that age.
Do you realize Messi had the best goal in the tournament, and it was from an assist?
Yeah.
comment that I saw that I thought was on point was someone said he literally took the one center back in this entire tournament that was on form that will get purchased after this tournament and just undressed him.
And to be fair to Gvardiol too, is like he's super young and he was probably just dealing with like normal human beings the entire tournament, and he probably isn't like really good form, but it straight up doesn't matter. Like, remember, like, Boateng was in form too. Like, he was the defender that everyone was talking about, and Messi just absolutely killed him. Like, he could just do it to anybody.
This won't shock you, but as I was bored through work today, I was going through Reels, and there's one that pointed out just more Messi, like, soccer IQ. Before that run, he like tells Alvarez to go behind him so that way he could set himself up for the one-on-one run too, which is just kind of sick to see because Ronaldo would never do that.
Nick and Michael, I think when you did the one pod, Dylan, you had to have been on this one too, right? Like, you and it wasn't just Nick and Michael, but it was the first one of the World Cup, and you were talking about one of you was watching someone break down just his movement off the ball and his and the back line movement, essentially. It is insane because, again, in this game, they just kept talking about how he really only sprints like 15% of the time, if that. Like,
if you just go to YouTube and you just type in Messi walking, there's so much content on just like, especially I read an article years ago. It's like he just the first 2 or 3 minutes of a game, he just walks the line. He just tries to see their movements, like. And like Gary Neville's going nuts about he just walks. He's like, dude, he's not just walking.
Yeah.
Like, there's more to it, man. Like, he's studying. He's like Dylan said, you're moving someone into a position to set yourself up or set the team up. Like, Dylan said, it's big brain stuff right there. Like, it's awesome.
Like I said, I think last episode, he plays like 4 positions. Like, he dictates everything in the midfield, dictates everything up top. Probably like I don't know. I know at PSG he gets a lot of stick for like not defending or whatever, but I don't know, man. It's not one. He's not a defender, and that's not really how they play. And two, he plays like every other position through the field.
Well, I was gonna say if you're gonna bitch about him not defending at PSG, I think you actually have to bitch about the formation and them just not having any defenders. Like Mbappe doesn't defend either. Like what are you talking about?
Seriously.
Did you guys have the vibe watching it where it was just like they gave these guys, we're not losing this game. That's all they said, and they're just like, yeah, they just walked out of the room feeling like the Monstars going against the Toon Squad.
A really great point, and kind of gets me to my next like thing. Is it shocking to any of you guys that last year Messi on PSG, which is essentially a Monstars team, had a lot of people talking about how he's kind of washed up, didn't have that good of stats, and this dark Messi mode that we're in right now, you can't bet against him. France is really good, and we'll get to that, but like it's really hard to put any type of money against him. Dylan, is that accurate as our better and bank holder?
I'd say so. Like this looks like the team. At least this game, this was the team that I thought would get all tournament, and you know what? At least they're peaking at the right time, semifinal into a final. Where, obviously, I think it's well documented. I have a ton of money on Argentina, so obviously I'm gonna say yes. But we'll get into it later. France is actually really good too.
Yeah. Croatia. Let's chat real quick about them. If there's no Morocco in this tournament, is the fact that this team went back-to-back to a final and a semifinal with a mere 4 million people in their country maybe the most impressive thing in world soccer?
No, because Morocco's on the other side.
I said if Morocco wasn't.
Yeah.
Dylan was like, I forgot that first part.
Damn.
I had a mic on, but I wasn't listening.
Do you think that I would say yes, but do you think like Saudi Arabia beating Argentina the first match is bigger?
Is Saudi Arabia winning a single game against a team in a final more impactful or more important or more impressive than a mid-level European team going to the final and the semis back-to-back World Cups?
Croatia's been in the semis before, though. Like, before these...
Yeah, because, like, how many people does Portugal have?
Well, I'll consult Bill Gates, or not Bill Gates.
Because I don't think Portugal's very big either.
Al Gore.
Good wine, though.
10 million, 10.3 million.
Okay, so double. That's
it's coastal. It's it's right on. It's resort. It's a resort country. Like there's a lot of tourists there. How many people are really going to Croatia? outside of Yacht Week.
Have you watched Below Deck?
You just described Croatia as you described Portugal.
No, the Mediterranean. Nah. Portugal's got it's wine country. Nah.
Yeah, they don't have that in Croatia.
Croatia's got wine. They're
well, I thought so. So I thought how many people like the U.S. is 300, right? Or no, 300 million, right?
It's like 320 or 330 now. It's somewhere.
You're putting your thumb up like I'm way fucking off, and I was only 10% off.
You are five Croatias off.
Yeah.
I guess. Yeah. So I would say like it's crazy because I remember somebody talking about how like Portugal is like so many insane players. But I guess, yeah, it's pretty insane that Croatia has like that many insane players too.
Imagine a team of just people from Brooklyn getting to a semifinal in the World Cup.
Yeah. That's pretty fucking crazy.
Or Jersey, which already happened. Not a semifinal, but the World Cup, right? Team USA's all Jersey guys. Anyway,
I thought that
best country in the world.
I thought you were doing. I'm gonna get his name wrong, but the dude that played for Italy was from Jersey.
Oh, was he?
Yeah, Rossi or whatever his name was.
Oh, didn't know that. De Rossi?
There's like so many Rossis
Really?
in Italy.
I know there is. I know that doesn't help, but there's the guy that he had dual citizenship and chose Italy and won the World
Smith.
Cup, which is probably the smart thing to do.
You mean a Euro?
Yeah.
No, like this
they
was
won
back
a World Cup. This is back. Yeah, De Rossi's.
Oh. That's what you're talking about right now.
Yeah, I'm pretty impressed with Croatia. This has to be the last one for Modric, right? And he went out not with a World Cup. but with being like the best Scottie Pippen-esque person in all World Cup, like not the lead dog, didn't win it.
You wouldn't put him as one of the best midfielders of all time?
For
Yes.
sure. Do you think Scottie Pippen's one of the best forwards of all time?
Well, I mean, next to Horace Grant, yeah.
Yeah. You think Horace Grant? This is our NBA pod comes out next month.
I love.
If you play NBA Jam, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, for sure.
I love all our new pod jokes we got.
Yeah. We're
Got
popping
history
off on
line.
TikTok. We got him. All right. Argentina's through. Do you guys got any last thoughts on this one?
Play the
I
same
hope
way.
they win.
Yeah, play the same way on Sunday.
Yeah, please.
The second semifinal. It happened today. France 2, Morocco, the Darlings, the Atlas Lions 0. Theo Hernandez in the 5th minute changed the complexion of this game, changed the approach, I think, by France for sure, and Morocco. I'll get to that in a second. Going up 1-0. And then Randall Kolo Muani in the 79th puts the game away off of a deflected Kylian Mbappe pass or shot, or do we know?
For sure.
Shot.
2-0 with the win. The thing that I wanted to bring up and mention was it is very interesting, I think, in World Cup games that we've watched, that on paper, you obviously have to think that France is the better team. And yet, they went up a goal to 0, and it almost felt like they were in full Burnley mode. And I didn't really understand that.
Who? France?
Yeah.
They opened the door big time for Morocco today.
Well, I think that's the biggest contrast between this French team and then the Argentinian team we saw the day before. Was like, you got one goal, and Messi was like, all right, I'm going to step on your throat. And with France, it was like, we got a goal, let's hold on to it.
Especially when you're giving up a goal in 9 consecutive games, I think it is.
Yeah,
like 8 or 9
that was
straight
their
games.
first clean sheet. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
The thing too is like Morocco. It didn't start off France like owning possession or anything like that. Like Morocco kind of started the game off on the front foot, trying to attack them. And again, like counter ping ponged around in the goal. Theo Hernandez got that last shot in. They got the goal, and you're right. They kind of sat back, but it was one of those things where you kind of saw the Moroccan goal coming, just the sheer amount of time they spent in and around the France box and goal and stuff. But when you actually like get down to it, they didn't really produce like a ton of chances, like legit chances. And France didn't either for the most part, but like the chances they had were like right in front of goal. So
Yeah.
I'd like to throw out there, France had the same possession as Argentina. Like, they both were at 39%. So just throwing that one out there in terms of how you view both. I think they both just took advantage of their opportunities.
Yeah. Something to think about. I guess you just kind of lawyered me on that one.
Sorry.
No, you're good. I was like,
It's
I
perspective on how you look at the game.
yeah. I do think it felt like with Argentina, and I think maybe why I'm saying this is it felt like there was an attacking mindset when they had the ball. And in this game, it just felt like it was, we're going to hold on to it if we can, but the Moroccan midfield actually, I think, did a really, really great job until they gave up that second goal, because the second goal was a turnover by their midfield, and I don't know.
I think that's a testament, though. Like, I don't think that's France looking bad. I think that's Morocco answering the question everyone wanted to, and I think like Morocco should be proud of this fact of that they let up a goal early, and I think everyone was like, okay, you got punched in the face, now the floodgates are going to open, and instead they took control of the game and gave themselves opportunities to potentially score and tie it up until that second goal happened. And I think honestly there could have been a goal with like 2 minutes still to go in the game, probably should have been at that point, but like I think Morocco just showed that they can play more than one style, which I don't think anyone expected. I think it's more credit to them than the French just not looking good.
For sure, and we can transition over to that side of the that side of the pitch, of the field. This head coach for Morocco, how quickly does he get a job?
I mean, do you do both?
I don't think he can anymore. I know that Mourinho's like rumored to be doing Portugal and Roma. Man, it's just, I feel like it's so hard.
Ragnarok was doing it for a little bit.
Yeah.
That worked out well.
Yeah. Nick, how you feel about that one?
You know, Dylan, I'm having a nice week. I don't know why you gotta do this to me right now.
I think he sticks with this job. Like,
he's always said he wants to go into, like, he always said his last job would be international. Like, when he goes to international management, like, that's pretty much
Mourinho?
it for him.
wait, Mourinho?
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
Well, let's
I think
go
this
back
guy's.
to- yeah.
I think this guy just stays the Moroccan manager.
Does anyone know how to pronounce this dude's last name? We sound.
I don't. I haven't even looked at it.
Regragui.
Go to YouTube, type it in, play it.
I'm not the one to try.
Let me try. I'll take a stab. Hold on.
Michael is the official podcast linguist here.
He was at
Regragui?
Yeah, he was at the biggest club in Morocco before he took this job, and as Nick has pointed out, I think every time we've recorded, like 3 days notice essentially. I just have to assume that when you're in a league like La Liga, where adjusting your approach, adjusting your style, having teams that are the Goliaths and you're the minnows, like, man, some middling team in La Liga needs to pick this guy up. He played in La Liga, is why I'm saying that too. Like, I think it just makes sense. Super impressed by him though.
Yeah, I mean, they love him too. Like, it's not, it's his tactics. I'm sure he's a great manager as well. Good for him. Like, a lot of like mid-tier players looked really fucking good for them.
Yep. Bring him into Sevilla. That's what we need. Research.
You need, give the goalkeeper to send him in.
Yeah.
Like that Wolves pipeline for future coaches.
Nick, you look like you want to say something.
I'm going to save it for the appropriate moment of this pod. It's just because the moment will show up. I'm not worried about it.
Oh, God. One last thing.
It's going to be a letdown. I overplayed.
Yeah, it seems like you kind of.
That's just Nick. Never mind. I won't be mean.
One last thing that I do want to bring up in regards to this game, and it has to do with, Michael and my new TikTok resurgence of our account. We got comments throughout, like, Michael's commentary on this game. The occult that is Ronaldo's fans are very strong in the Twitter fingers, because there were so many people saying airports this way to Morocco, and to be honest, I have to think they're all just Portuguese fans, Ronaldo fans. Nobody really wanted France to win this game, right?
No, I mean, I know people.
I know people who French. So
no, I know people who did, but like, because they're just bad people, like, they're just not good people. I know I said it to you, John. I love the comments of "you don't know ball" from the guy who has a strictly Real Madrid account where no commentary himself, just posting highlight videos of the literal, like, Yankees of the world. Come on.
Yeah. Comment
Thank you.
Ball don't lie, since the French won.
Well, no, he was rooting for. He was basically telling us that we're idiots. Michael said on the TikTok that a goal was forthcoming for Morocco because they were holding possession, creating chances, and he just said ball don't lie. Look, we're a young pod. We're not used to all this interaction. We'll get used to it. We won't read the comments in the future, but right now,
I just tell people I appreciate your interaction, and then let them just hate me. I don't care.
Dude, you need to start punching up, down, left, and right when you're in the comment section. Just go for it.
I'll just get I'll get on my alt account and I'll just start like going absolutely scorched earth on them.
Your girl 3165, I think was the person's name, said something else to us too.
Still lost. They said still lost.
Yeah, Morocco's still lost, and I just responded with, "Damn, your girl got us again."
Your girl got us.
Damn. We're getting used to it. It was fun. Hopefully, we'll start doing that with the Premier League as well, guys. Any last thoughts? France, Morocco, before we dive into a bit of a preview.
Are you fighting with teenagers on TikTok?
Probably. Most likely.
It's either a teenager or a 55-year-old man.
There's no chance he's 55. They don't know how to work the computers like that. Unless it's a 55-year-old incel.
I also will...
Then
Have you ever seen I Love You, Man? Like, they know what
Yeah.
they're doing.
I will also say this. Living in the United States, we have a large array of sports: basketball, American football, baseball, hockey, all this shit. And the rest of the world really focuses like on soccer and then, rugby here and there and some other sports.
F1.
Cricket.
F1 is huge. The toxicity of soccer fans, like, it's the most, like, if you go on Twitter, TikTok, anywhere, and you go to any post about, it could be the most mundane thing, like Luka Modric hugs his child after, the loss or whatever, and it is just murdering him for no apparent reason in the comments. That you keep scrolling down, it's just comment after comment, and it's to the point where I just go, let this poor man just live his life. Like, come on. And that's like when we post those videos and I see some like mean comment, I'm just like, well, this is what I expected. Like, I'm talking about soccer. Like, I can't expect everyone to just be fucking normal.
Yeah. All right. Going into the final, Argentina, France. Staying on this topic a little bit though. If Messi pulls this off, if Argentina wins this one, debate's done, right?
The debate's already done. This is like, do you mean debate for like Ronaldo or Messi? Yeah. It's over. In my opinion, it's been over for a long time. This is like untouchable territory for anybody. Like, he is the greatest ever if they win.
Tuckers?
I mean, I agree. I'm just waiting for Nick to keep just turning heel and hating Ronaldo. But
there's no heel turn. It's my brand now.
It's his identity.
I think the whole pod is like really pumped that they like agree with Nick. Everyone agrees on something, and I am just lathering it on every episode. I'm like, all right, what can we say about Ronaldo on this one?
Yeah.
He's still got great abs. I'll give it to him.
Yeah. What's your prediction for this game? What needs to happen? Who's gonna step up? Dylan, I'll start with you. Just give us your thoughts real quick.
Well, one, I was rooting for Morocco. I want that on the record. However, I'm actually happy the French won because in terms of settling the debate for anyone else who says that there still is a debate, when Messi wins this game against the defending champs, I think it just even further solidifies where he stands. So, rooting for that. I think this is going to be an absolute classic of a final. I always get excited going in the finals, and I'm starting to like tamper these expectations that when it's a game that should have a ton of goals, I just throw all my money on the over, and then it's like 1-0. Specifically, I'm looking at Bayern versus PSG a few years ago, and I think that's where I think it's going to end up being one of those tight fought games that's going to end up being, I don't know, 1-0 or 1-1, and then we get some type of classic. I would love Messi just finishing it off in extra time. I think that'd be the perfect way to write this script.
Well, before I send it over to Nick, like, I do think you're getting an indication of, as much as we hate betting unders, like an under might be the right bet because it's almost like playing not to lose type of mindset where it's like, how can we not make a mistake? And I think that's like how definitely France, I think this last game approached it, and maybe even Argentina to an extent as well. Nick?
Yeah, just to build on that, I think it's an interesting dynamic of where you say playing not to lose, if you had the France team without the injuries, I think that would be kind of a moot point for them, because it's like, hey, I'm going for number 2 here. It's like when you win your first championship, it's just like all the nerves go away. But I think that's definitely could be a factor for them. I think that maybe, how many of the guys were really are left over from 2014 for Argentina? There's a lot of young guys on both teams that haven't played on this type of stage yet. So I think that could play a factor. I think 0-0 first half is very possible. I just hope we want to go in the first half or very early in the second half. Like we need goals before the 60th minute for some chaos to go in. And there's someone who I just saw is actually fit and cleared and available to come off the bench for the French. Karim Benzema comes off the bench.
Damn it.
You know what's super
He's gonna be on the bench.
He's available.
I'm available.
He's gonna be on the bench.
Yeah,
Actually, I'm not French. Yeah.
But I think I'm hoping. Honestly, I want Argentina to win. I'm hoping for a good game. Like, we need a goal in the first half to make it punchy. But I think Argentina is going to come out a little more guns blazing. I think they're going to come out the gates pretty hot.
Well, so first off, I just want to say, the Moroccan game, as I'm not a French guy, Ibu Konate played out incredible. Just want to say that. But he is young. And by the similar, you're saying like young players, they're gonna be cagey. It'll probably be low scoring. By that same token, though, young guys bound to make a mistake. Why not? I'm looking at one of these teams to try to go after that. And if Konate or Upamecano, I think was sick. Like that's why he didn't play.
Rabiot being if he's back or not too is huge. Apparently he was completely isolated from everybody.
Yeah,
he's that sick.
Yeah, because Fofana played. Koundé is like a younger guy. That back line, Theo Hernandez, we saw the game before what he would do in under certain situations, literally run a guy over. And Varane's a professional, he's a vet, but like not the same Varane 4 years ago in the same breath. So I think Argentina's going to kind of go after it because that's what they've been doing this whole tournament. Like, why stop? Why change that way you're playing? And the way I see it is I honestly think France is on borrowed time from the England game. I thought they should have lost that game for sure. And I think Argentina is going to win this game like 2-0 probably.
Damn. Michael, I agree with your point, and I like it. I do have to play, not a devil's advocate, but
just go ahead.
Let me raise my hand. As someone who spent, I think it was 3 seasons, watching the general Otamendi in the back line give up a penalty and miss a lot of tackles. That's not the most reliable center back to have back there in a World Cup final. Let me say that, but he has played well this whole tournament. I will give him that.
But like, think about Maguire too in the same breath, because he's an absolute disaster for United, but plays pretty good for his country. Like maybe Otamendi's the same way. I don't know. I think Argentina, similar. Like, you can put all these stats. You can sit there and look at XG and possession and blah 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 blah, which I do quite often. But we all kind of said at the beginning of the tournament, it just felt like it was just Argentina's for some reason. And I just, after watching them, seeing them lose that first game and then where they are now, I just think it's theirs. Like, I just think it's theirs. And I think Messi is, I think he is like immune to that like level of hype and distress. Like, he's just going to go out there and fucking play.
Yeah. All right, let's go back down the ladder, reverse in how we just gave answers, and give this final one. Are you sticking with the original bet, staying with Argentina? I think probably all 4 of us are, and rolling with that one. But for good or for ill, outside of Mbappe, outside of Messi, who has the biggest impact on this game? Michael, I'll start with you.
Outside of those two, I think I'll give you one for each team. Alvarez, I think he's playing out of his mind. Took Lautaro Martinez's spot and just literally never looked back. And then as much as I hate him, Griezmann has been great for France too. And like we're talking about like Benzema coming back, and we were saying like it's such a step down. Like Giroud's the all-time leading scorer for France. Like that's such an insane step down to have. Like truly. But I think Griezmann and Alvarez probably are the two.
Do you ever think defenders, like when they're marking Giroud, they look at him, and the reason why he has so many goals is because they look at him and they just get lost in his eyes and his soul. Yeah, like kind of like the Medusa effect, and just like all of a sudden, once they snap to, the ball's already in the back of the net.
Hey,
probably
could be. Nick, who are your two guys or one guy, whomever, have an impact on this one?
Griezmann was going to be I was going to go with Griezmann just because he's been like John freaking Stockton, man. Like he's just been dishing the ball everywhere he wants to. He's been lights out, and when he's in form, man, he's so much fun to watch. And when he plays with a team that wants to attack and wants to go play, like he is really truly an exciting player. And I think Alexis McAllister has been pretty lights out for Argentina. Yep. Yeah. Well, Michael took Julian Alvarez from me already, so I didn't want to go repeat. But yeah, McAllister's been awesome, man. And if you ever want to get lost in some Twitter comments and feeds and everything, just go look up McAllister, and anyone's talking about there's no way he's Argentinian, and just like go through the comments is pure hilarity, because apparently they've been there for like 5 generations. They've been there for a long time.
McAllister.
Yeah.
Irish Argentinian. You never heard of it?
Yep. Dylan.
Well, Nick stole my homework, so that's real,
Same.
Teacher view, plagiarizing. So ultimately, I guess for Argentina, I will go with Martinez, because this game may potentially go to a shootout, and he's going to have to shut the door, which could be extremely impactful. And then, if I'm going to say someone from France, I'd say Dembele. Did I say that right? I think I said that right.
Dembele. Listen, I was not going to say anything, and I don't think anyone else was until you asked.
Well, I'm trying to strive to make myself better. So
okay, I appreciate that.
I just think that everyone's always focused on, obviously, Mbappe and his speed, but I think coming down the opposite wing, there's a lot of damage that can be done there if France can run the ball through him as well. I also just want to leave off that, do you guys realize that regardless, too, this is a passing of a torch game, one way or the other?
For sure. I don't think it's passed. I think Mbappe, he's
I know he has it, but we can physically pass it to him, either way.
Yeah, for sure. All right, I'll go outside the box because, like Dylan just said, I wanted to shout out Mackers, and Nick beat me to it. Michael, you mentioned the back lines being young. One of the areas, and it's where a lot of these games are won and lost, one of these areas for France is super young, and that's the midfield. And I actually think someone who's going to have a big impact on this game and probably won't even see a minute is Angel Di Maria with this team. Because the Argentinian midfield is by no means super old outside of him. And if he can actually talk them through breaking down either Tchouaméni or a Camavinga. Yeah, I said that one fucked up too, Tchouaméni.
Just forget the T.
Yeah. Or a Camavinga who might be playing in this midfield. Fofana is still 23, I think. If there is any type of guidance that can be given to these players to win that battle, I think Argentina runs away with this one. And I think it might be a 2-0, like you said earlier. So, Di Maria. And then I was going to shout out the young midfielders for France. I think it's for ill. If they don't come and they don't have a good game, 2-0 Argentina, I think, is a real possibility. And then, if we go to pens, Lloris and Emmy, it'll be a good one.
Dude, Lloris is insane for France. He's so good. Just doesn't make any sense. Also, I was thinking this, and this is just kind of a fun little activity. there's like a certain number of players that I feel like are just the same player. Like I go, Paulo Dybala. I didn't even fucking know he was
Still
on this
the
team.
roster? Yeah, me neither.
Yes.
Yeah.
James Rodriguez,
Yeah.
Griezmann, like for club, especially. And then there was another one that they're all just the same guy for me. Like they all are these guys that everyone talks about at a certain point, like around the transfer window, and then nothing happens.
Can I take a stab at who it might have been?
Who?
Mauro Icardi.
Yeah. No, it wasn't Icardi, but he's definitely one of them.
Yeah.
It was. Oh, it was like Asensio.
Yeah.
Or like Isco, who's like now just not even in that. He's like not even at that level now.
Yeah.
But just all these guys. Di Maria's kind of won a little bit. Like he's kind of fallen out of favor.
34 though. Let him live.
Yeah. True. Good point. Good point.
All right, so we're all sticking with Argentina. I think it'll be a good game. I think it will be a classic, like Dylan said. And hopefully all four of us can get this prediction right with the support of FIFA 23, who gave us the guidance. Dylan, it's the last time we'll do this World Cup wise. Are there any bets? No? You were tumboing me.
I have bets, but in terms of our internal, I know you and Michael can win, but there's a chance you could tie because I don't know why we're not predicting the third place match. Just saying.
Oh.
That's
we
a
don't
good
have to go
call.
depth
Shit.
on it, but I think we need to throw.
Oh,
something
Morocco.
because I have
Done.
bets in
Morocco.
the game.
Okay.
I'm taking Morocco.
Let's chat third place game. Morocco Croatia. It's a letdown game, obviously, right? All these teams wanted to go to the final, but who's let down the least? I think is what you're gonna say.
Morocco.
I just think there's too much pride for Morocco not to try to get third. Dylan, go ahead and roll with this.
Well, that's kind of where I was going as. Croatia's come in third place before, where this is the first time an African nation's been this far. I think there's going to be a lot of pride from Morocco to be able to place at this point and still get third, which I think obviously the whole nation's behind them regardless at this point, but that would just be the huge stamp to a great tournament for where they're at, which is why I'm going to be supporting Morocco. And unfortunately, when Michael takes Morocco, you're going to have to take Croatia to try and tie them, which is going to be a fun spin zone. So I'm excited to hear why you're picking Croatia.
Well,
Are they going to play added time in that game?
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
Okay.
Regular game.
It's one of those things, like this is like very sciencey, so maybe this will not hit at all. But when you're trying to move something heavy, it's harder. It takes more force to get it to start moving than to have it continue to move. Anybody?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Inertia.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're waiting for
Yeah.
the end of the sentence.
When in
Fuck
Rome.
yourself. Go teach history. So Morocco, very tough team to move. Very tough team to get moving. But I think once they got moved by France, I think it's going to be easier. So I'm going to go with Croatia.
Oh.
You motherfucker.
Oh.
I don't care about winning this. I've got enough of these little internal titles at home. I probably will just go with Croatia.
Oh.
Yeah, okay.
Oh.
No, I'll root for Morocco. Dylan, before we jump into your bets, I do want to pose this question I posed last pod to you because you weren't on here. You get the Morocco run as a U.S. fan and give them the World Cup, or do you keep the World Cup and 4 years from now?
I'm going to shock you. I'm club and country through and through. I'd rather see us in the semifinals than be able to go to the game. Don't get me wrong.
Okay.
I really want to go to the games. I'm super excited about it. But
Yeah.
no. When are we ever going to say the U.S. got to the semifinal? Probably 2026. But outside of that,
Yeah.
I would 100% root for the run.
We did all pick the run, and there was a part of me that I was like, Dylan might keep the World Cup 2026.
I mean, depends. Am I going to every game? Maybe.
If we're getting paid to go, and if we're getting shacked up to do it, yeah, definitely.
We have 4 years to become studs at this.
Yeah. 4 years to actually get a sugar daddy and to have him pay for all this shit. All right. Let's jump into the bets, Dylan. Tell us where your final World Cup money is going. And let us know how you're doing.
Well, we don't need a sugar daddy because it's been a successful tournament. So bacon, egg, and cheese for everyone on the way out of the wedding. However, I've yet to hit a method of victory, and it's my mission to hit a method of victory at this point. Like, I don't care. It's happening. Ultimately, from the futures perspective, corner's a shot. I think I didn't do the math after today, but like I'm pretty sure we need like 30 corners or we might need 30 corners in both games. So I'm super excited to get a world record there. But we only need one goal between two games. So I got to think that's going to happen. If I hit 2-0-0 ties, I'm going to lose my mind. But we're feeling good there, and the draws officially hit after today, too, with no draws coming in there. Coming into the third place game, though, I don't know. This line's got to change. Under 2.5 goals for Croatia Morocco is plus 100. I'm going to take that. Not that I have, I think a lot of things we could say as we saw this from the game they played earlier, but it was at 5 a.m., so I didn't see a lick of it. So I'm just hoping I'm expecting the same 0-0 draw. I'm going to take Morocco money line plus 210, and just in case it does go into extra time, I'm hedging, and I'm going to take method of victory Morocco to win on penalties plus 950. So that way, get the bigger payday in case it doesn't happen there. Ultimately, I want to put money on the final. However, I essentially got Argentina at plus 550 at the beginning of the tournament to win, as opposed to right now it's minus 110 to win. So not touching that. Also, I have the South American team to win also. So essentially we have an extra odd boost
Double,
on them
yeah.
there, which is nice. So I think I'm going to go with what we just talked about, though, and take under a half a goal at plus 120 for the first half and just expect a 0-0 first half. I think if I'm going to play something. And then, because I'm going to nail it, Argentina to win in extra time, plus 1,300. The method of victory is running. And one of these has to hit. They might not, but they have to.
But bold of you, too, to just not hedge.
Fuck that. Argentina's winning. I'm not touching it. I'm not a big hedger. Right. I don't like it. Because then if you hedge and that loses, but then you win the ultimate bet, you're just going to be mad at yourself. Like,
Stay with your convictions.
You ever... I know you have, but like it's like playing blackjack when the dealers show an ace and they ask insurance. Like, if you're gonna beat me, beat me. I'm not giving you an extra like $40 to cover myself.
Agreed. All right. Great World Cup betting wise. I'm pumped to get this more, its own segment and more built out when we're doing Premier League. Before I have you get us out of here with a joke, I do gotta say a special shout out to Pig Beach, Brooklyn. A lot of the guys listening to the podcast will know what I'm talking about. It's a great bar in Brooklyn that just got bought out by a corporation to put a bunch of condos there, and it's a great spot to watch the games. I've actually done it multiple times. Their last day is December 31st, so get out to Pig Beach and watch it there. Sad day. It's right down the road from me. It's a great spot. Dylan?
Not an ad.
Hashtag not at all an ad because they're not going to be around. They're not going to be around to pay us when we go to the moon. Dylan, get us out of here with a joke.
I'm not going to the moon.
Well, not with that attitude.
Yeah, exactly. Michael's more of a Mars guy, big Elon guy.
No,
right?
my God, I would never.
All
right, guys. So, who are the Pirates rooting for in the World Cup final? Argentina.
Nice.
The NAFTA Podcast.
Sometimes maybe good, sometimes maybe shit.